Jin, for me, has been by far the most improved looking at part number 2, and you could argue, well, obviously, going from the Open Division to HGC, you're going to see that faster kind of major spike, but I feel like the front line is one of the hardest roles to be able to learn how to hold your own, and the level of punishment when you make a mistake is going to be exploited pretty quickly, and for the most part, I mean, he's been doing pretty well there on the front line, so hoping to see that still continue here for Jin on Towers of Doom. Again, this has been the best battleground far and above for No Tomorrow out of the entirety of part number 2. The only place, other than that last match, where they've gotten a win.
It's funny you say that. I mean, you think about it. If you come in as a ranged player, you've got plenty of other people that can protect you and cover up a lot of your mistakes. If you're on the front line and you make a mistake, there's nobody to protect you. You are the protection. And so...
See, I would make the argument
outside of the support.
That's support. But who's supporting the support? Does anybody remember that? Oh, wait a minute. No one. They have to make, they can't mess up.
If only we were in a double warrior meta.
If only, the only time support players had the ability to have that leniency is when we had double support.
Who watches the watcher? Who supports the support?
Chicken and the egg here. Genji is going to be the first ban for Team 12. Chicken, no? It's not the exact same. I got it. Like the minute I said it, I know it was questionable. But let's be real here. You're gonna call me out on that? Fine then. Go ahead. Come up with a better one, Jay.
It's a little cattywampus.
5 seconds. Yeah, that was a big cattywampus. You right?
Genji being banned out here again. Casanova is so good on this hero. It doesn't matter the composition that you were in. Casanova was a big part of that. Every game that we've seen No Tomorrow do well on, in some regards, Casanova, when he's on that Genji, is a big part of that equation. So Team 12, regardless of what the drafts look like, they're going to be like, Casanova, we want you on something else.
It's going to be a good start there for Team 12. Because that one swift strike into Dragon Blade out of the last game alone, you know, when I look at how those kind of team fights unfolded, it very much was with Casanova ripping through for the front line. So what do we see? Is it going to be the Maev? No, Maev let through. Team 12, I don't think they hold off on that one. Medivh is let through too.
Which do you really want here?
In this type of situation, I would call out No Tomorrow and be like, you can't Medivh at the same level. Or you just don't do either and say you can't do both of them at the same level. The biggest thing, though, would be mainly calling out on the fact that I feel like the Medivh impact hasn't been nearly as high as, you know, even Casanova on a Maev, not something I'd want to deal with.
Medivh Maev, very rarely are we getting teams that can play this composition. Despite Maev being a melee assassin, oftentimes goes to that flex backliner. So we're going to get a Garrosh and a Maev. And generally your Maev player is oftentimes your Medivh player. And even if they're different, you're very rarely going to run Maev Medivh unless your melee can flex over. We're going to get a Tracer Tassadar playing directly into this. So
now I would expect a Medivh ban from Team 12. You know, we made it to the second ban phase. You've already got the Tracer on your side. You don't want to have that option for the kill potential within the Maev. Like, I agree with you on everything you've had to say. We've had no team successfully run a Medivh Maev at the same time. Tempo Storm was the only team I think even willing to pick it up, really. And even then, they did not look too hot when they locked it in for how objectively powerful those heroes would be. But, like, in this type of situation, this late into the draft to be able to give that up along with a Garrosh and a Tracer, they're at least willing to make the call out. Again, I don't feel like No Tomorrow's had the most impressive performance on Medivh so far. But that's one of those ones where I feel like I'm getting a bit too confident.
The Dahaka ban here. Dahaka takes away the global. No Tomorrow likes to be aggressive early. Also has good lane control. Sonya has been a high priority for No Tomorrow. That's good. Tracer puts a pulse bomb onto Dahaka. Dahaka can go underground and negate that pulse bomb. Sonya, not the same type.
So then what do we see here for No Tomorrow? With the ban on the Dahaka in the offlane, you would expect them to give some kind of commitment for that. The other one would be Blaze, though. When we're talking about Tracer, ways to deal with it. Bunker, one of the best. Actually, Bunker's one of the best to deal with, not just Pulse Bomb. It's actually one of the best to just deal with things. If you have something that makes you feel core to your kit as a hero, Bunker probably deals with it pretty well.
When a Maev, Garrosh, and Blaze diving on that, you can literally follow it up with just about anything. I do wonder what this will be like. Obviously, Tracer, if you get tethered as Tracer, you can't just blink away. And so you're going to eat quite a bit of damage. We're going Chen again. You pulse bomb Chen, he just turns into 3 pandas at once, and things disappear. Maev.
Or he just keeps brewing and just doesn't care. Stitches Vikings here, J-How. Talk about a lethal four-man.
I mean, the thing is, Vikings on this battleground, there was a period of time where if you could run Vikings,
You could win towers.
pretty easily.
We're a little past that, though.
It's been a couple years.
It's been about since 6 months after the map released, it feels like.
Yeah.
The four-man of Team 12 is scary enough, though, that I look at this and I go, they can maybe get away with it in this composition, especially because Chen only does well in the off lane when you cater to this norm of an off lane, which right now, because he can't siege. He can't siege for anything. He literally is one of the slowest clears in the game. He's just amazing at, he's unstoppable. But all the Vikings look at that and go, wait a minute, you weren't going to push into me? Wait, you're not, that's a dream.
You sit like a spectator, you just watch him drink the whole game.
Yeah, and
just
you're just
like, oh, what are you doing over there?
Yeah, as long as I can get my experience, I don't care.
Okay, hold on. We're going to do a reenactment. You want me to be Chen since I'm bigger?
At this point,
you be one of the Vikings?
I'm too afraid of whatever you're about to suggest
here's
to even
a
have an
reenactment.
opinion.
This is
Okay,
it.
you can be the Chen. That was good.
Yeah, Chen versus Vikings. That's what it looks like.
Yeah, that was real good. As you can tell, me and J-How are having a little bit too much fun up here for our own good in this series between No Tomorrow and Team 12. All right, actually analyzing these kind of more Tier 3 strats, I always have a hard time supporting Vikings.
I will say, okay.
This is one of the best Vikings comps I've seen in a long time. I feel like they've got all the things necessary, but
they're trying to make up for BlizzCon.
For North America.
Well, Roll20, this roster was the one that ran the Vikings into
and everybody was like, why the last pick?
Yeah.
Why the last pick Vikings?
Yeah, they had something about I will say, on the side of No Tomorrow, Gyarash incredibly hard to kill. Chen, again, incredibly hard to kill. Maiev, Vault, Chen can turn into 3 pandas. Warp, you can warp out of a Pulse Bomb. Level 13 for Malfear and Ice Block. Tracer's going to have her hands full. This is a new Tracer, a more sustained style damage. But in terms of that burst kill, it will be difficult.
So now let me hit you with the other half of this kind of equation, right? When playing the math problem. I agree with you. When we look at Tracer, she's probably not going to have that big of an impact, but that's where I feel like we're overlooking 3 little friends on the battlefield. And it's mainly just go, all right, J-How. So when I've got the Vikings, we talked about it in the draft a little bit. I want a 4-man with a lot of kill potential and pretty threatening on its own so it can demand responses from No Tomorrow. And then that way my Vikings can get value in one of those off lanes. The counterplay to that is either have a better 4-man on the side of No Tomorrow, not possible within the current draft situation that we saw unfold, but then we look at the other way to make up for that is you just body the hell out of the Vikings, and more importantly, the lanes that they're in, much like you would against an Abathur composition. How much macro really exists in the hands of No Tomorrow?
Yeah, you run out of a lot of things when you get rid of one Viking alone, and as you said, it is going to be difficult. Cure going to eat a bit of damage there. Nice shielding, though, by Dansky.
It's just I very easily can see this game get out of control in the opposite way that we see most Viking comps get out of control. And normally when we see them, hold up though, Cure actually just barely able to get out of that tether. Normally when we see this happen, it is the Vikings are going to just pretty much be placeholders, don't feed. And hold up though, adjusting after that nice root. You got the E out, Stukov silence goes down, pulse bomb in. Jin able to keep himself alive with that armor.
That's the one thing. Justin has done this in the past. They've got a split, Dread. That Fan of Knives reset, I think, 3 times. One more would have been a kill. But Justin is going into this, that level 1 talent, not going into Slam, going into that more self-surviving option, getting that percentage-based heal over time. And we've seen him do this before, so it is something. You know, one of the things that I've loved the most with the Tracer changes, I wonder if we'll see it here. As, hold on, Cure, there's going to be the tether in. Does he have a recall? He does, but it's basically in place. Yeah, he needed to use that first and then blink out. But Tracer, you know, now with the Tassadar, generally you're like, all right, between a Stukov, between a Tassadar, I should be able to survive. With the changes, Tracer is more about sustained damage, as the hook's just going to miss there. We've seen a lot of untouchables start to spring up just a little bit at level 4. You have to survive in order to get value out of that. But getting that bonus damage on your auto attacks is now a little bit more since her auto attack was buffed. That all-in burst kill with that parting gift, not as prominent anymore since the scaling changes and everything around it.
And the Vikings with the 2v1 into the kind of Chen, if you will. I don't even know if it's fair to call that a 2v1. But either way, the lane soak battle between the two has been holding his own so far. There is the full flame build, which is going to provide a little bit better of the wave clear, which was my immediate concern. Was like, well, if the 4-man is not going to be that big of a problem, is Vikings going to provide enough split push pressure for Chen to make up for that? But by Chen adjusting his build, he has better wave clear individually, and more importantly, is not going to allow the map to get too oppressive. That in mind, it's not like Vikings are in a bad spot. It's just not in nearly as a dominant one as they maybe could have been with a different type of build on the side of No Tomorrow. And now No Tomorrow, they got the Sappers on the top half. 3 altars going to be spawning in 15 seconds. And Team 12 just going to continue the 1-4 split here.
Again, Justin doing this build, going into the Amplified Healing. I believe he's still the last hero with that specific named talent of Amplified Healing, making sure he does receive that bonus healing from various sources. And again, we do have the Untouchable. Again, you get 1 pick, you get bonus sustained damage because baseline, obviously your auto attacks are higher. There's a much higher ceiling out of it. We're going to see the Pulse Bomb going out again. Going to get stacked there. Jin getting low, trying to get that heal off. He does get it, as well as Tomster keeping him alive. It's going to be the channel. Now we've got the contention here for the bottom altar.
A lot of pressure onto Jin, actually, here from Cure. Hook going to land onto Tomster. Casanova not going to follow up onto the Shadow, at least not all the way in. Tomster starts another channel. Goku comes in. There's the interrupt. Going to get tethered back, but he's just fine there. Even if we lose Eric, he'll be comfortable. But Bud's getting flipped over.
Oh, Casanova's. Oh, I was going to say Casanova had to get out of there.
So good there from Buds. The self-silence able to keep him alive for a little bit longer, but then not too long. Hook back from Justing. Make sure they get the kill onto Jin. 1 for 1 so far between these teams. Follow-up. It's going to be there for Casa. No tether yet.
Chen has not made it down at all. Cure has taken quite a bit of damage. Forced to recall out. Almost there for another Pulse Bomb, but Shrite's got that extra range, and it's going to be enough. That is why auto attack heroes sometimes, Dread, are the single best counter towards a Tracer, although Shrite is going to warp on out of there. But it's one of those weird things. It's just like, look, if you just auto attack Tracer, she cannot stand in the pocket with you.
I think the biggest thing is it's just any kind of damage source to threaten Tracer, right? Any amount of threat towards Tracer because she's a mosquito. The girl is so squishy. But it's just that auto attacks are the only ones that are never going to miss.
Yeah.
Right? We have very few single target bursts that are point and click that are able to keep up with, you know, a hero like Tracer. And it's just that the auto attacks right now from Phoenix are too big, too threatening. And again, not going to be kind of dodgeable there by Tracer. She kind of squirrels around. Chen's holding his own in the 2 versus 1, and that makes this Vikings composition a lot weaker on the side of Team 12. Nice hook onto Tomster. No CC follow-up, plus the into the fray. Cure trying to track it down, force the recall after a groundbreaker. 2-man tether.
Stitch is going in, and all of a sudden he gets that bonus healing there using his E, getting the big devour, but he's eating so much damage. There's Casanova one more time, hitting with those fan of knives. And see the healing coming out from Buds for now, but No Tomorrow, Dreadnought finding themselves slightly ahead. More Vikings falling around as Equinox doing work on that Chen.
Pulse Bomb even dropped there after the vault. Flip over on Justing. He's going to go ahead and eat, but the pull back after that tether should be enough to get the kill. That time it is. Jin falls low, but he's got enough armor. Groundbreaker not landing on the Cure after that kind of ambitious recall for a moment. 20 seconds out from this altar phase. No opportunity for Team 12 to get their 10s. Likely going to be 4 shots. The question is really just kind of, does any outlier pick happen? I don't feel like that's going to happen here, as already still Stitches nowhere to be found for another 15 seconds at least.
They got their eyes fully on Cure. He's getting a lot of heals. Jin does have that taunt now at level 10. But it's hard against the ranged hero of Tracer. You can see actually Goku sneaking down on one of the Vikings, buying a little bit of time. I don't know if it's going to be enough. See if the hook comes out. Still no level 10. They're just buying time, seeing if the Vikings can get to that. Cure gets tossed in, forced to use that recall.
2-man tether is going to go through, pulling back into that Warden's cage. No kill obtained yet. Jin falling pretty low. Actually, he used the Warlord's challenge in that skirmish before the Warden's cage drops. He didn't hit anybody with it, so that cooldown's not available, and something that they are going to want to have on their side as we see another kind of catch there. Look at that, the gorge into the flip over. Jin saving the team. Phoenix is going to be comfortable there after the silence is there. Tomster with the tranquility. Justing trying to get out. Salvo thrown down.
Justin taking so much damage. He will fall. That's actually multiple members falling as Tassadar went down as well. And now that should be enough to secure this. He was tied in terms of core health, but you know, the whole big picture is not only is core health going to change, but these structures, they're not, oh, that was actually already captured, excuse me. But, well, that's one way to buy a little bit of time is to shove Garrosh clearly on the other side of the map.
Tomster's finally Well, wait a minute. Cure, that recall is in a bad position. Again, Jay Shrite here on the Phoenix, making Cure kind of second-guess himself.
Poke, poke, poke.
Those recalls have just both times have been without, you know, that kind of high amount of mobility. That's one thing about Tracer with the recall. You have to constantly move around. Bud's able to, man, talk about some trust there and adjusting. He was sitting there with that lurking arm the entire time, then ended up getting the flip over. Gorge comes out, forcing the tether on adjusting. He's going to be just fine.
I think he should. I'm going to say he should have a hook. Well, he's not even going to have an opportunity. See if he gets a hook in. There it is. Well, the lurking arm was dropped down, though. So no follow-up. Casanova able to vault out. Cure again eating a lot of damage. If Buds had held that lurking arm just another second longer, I think they would have been able to confirm that kill.
Here we are, 30 seconds out from these altars. Core HP tied, but it really hasn't seen any signs of life over the past couple of minutes here from Team 12. It has just been the no tomorrow, you know, kind of party here. Hook comes out, Jin, good dodge. It's about the third good dodge of this game that Jin's had. And granted, it's not like that one would have netted a kill, but he's just been very, very aware, and it's kind of part of that game sense that I was talking about with the development that we've seen from Jin. Does a lot of subtle things a lot better than he used to.
See if Casanova gets over. He should be able to get over there in time. Does interrupt Goku on the channel on the left, while Goku also interrupting the channel on the right.
Olaf, good night. Oh man, that fan of knives not up in time? Oh, well. Passive regen LP. Interrupt coming in. 4 shots onto the core of Team 12, sending it now to 28. Play again on the back line.
Oh, man. That play it again is in a terrible spot as all 3 Vikings might be falling here. There's 1, 2, there's going to be 3. We do have a Gorge directly onto the Maiev. See if you've got the vault and the E out. Not even needed into the fray.
Yeah, got the fray. Now flip over Justing. Going to get body blocked to death here. He is just stuck, forcing the Archon. Zalvo going to drop down. Justing taking a lot of damage as the Warden's Cage kind of stopping the advance that are up Team 12. Justing eventually ends up dropping. Equinox with that Storm Earth Fire is going to be just fine. And the shots picked up here for No Tomorrow. Now setting the core of Team 12 down to 24 HP.
Team 12 just had a hard time getting things going so far. I mean, you can see where this comp could go, but I think the effects of the Pulse Bomb scaling changes are very much being felt, because there seems to be these Pulse Bombs that previously probably would be getting kills. Nowadays, not till much, much later, and maybe if that.
Still see a 13 not moving into what we used to see. Instead, going to go with the splashing auto attack damage. I really like this talent pickup from Tracer.
That level 7 synergy, just way too good.
It's insane. But no kills for now. No Tomorrow. Still winning the race to 16. The question is, can Team 12 find a way to force it before the 16 threshold? And I wish I could tell you the answer to that is they can, J-How. But if I was to kind of break down how often Team 12 is looking for initiations in this game, the answer would be almost for 24/7. Because they have a Viking split 1-4 composition, and they haven't been able to find it. Only 1 kill the entirety. Here comes out the hook. Jin, he's comfortable just fine, even with those silence there. Tomster even misclicking his ice block, still comfortable to get the healing. Maybe that's something they can rely on. Like if that hook landed on Tomster, then that's like, but you're relying on a literal misclick on a major cooldown on 1 player.
Sappers coming in, getting a bit of damage done. No 16 yet for No Tomorrow, but it is on the horizon. And again, that 16 talent here a long ways away for Team 12. There's going to be a hook Gorge.
But a vault after. Silence is there. Cure, not even going to get tethered back thanks to the massive shove. Channel started there by Equinox. Tracer interrupts.
Just barely interrupts. The Viking at the bottom might be able to get that, but Cure goes down, gets punished. You know, Chen, I believe, went Boulder at level 7, meaning he gets an instant shield whenever he uses his trait. Or, yeah, I guess it'd be his trait, his brew. So making sure that he can survive. Again, all of these heroes are almost impossible to kill as a Tracer outside of sustained damage. Pulse Bomb kills on these targets. I just don't see him happening.
Yeah, I don't see them happening either, but that's because they just aren't happening. We've got 1 kill this entire game on the side of Team 12. And I'm not even sure that was, you know, netted out of a Pulse Bomb. Another root coming out from Buds leads to the hook. Casanova's got the vault into the fray. things are fine here for No Tomorrow.
It's so weird because Chen has just casually been winning the rest of the map single-handedly. Like, there he is.
Equinox, actually, let's take a minute to appreciate his PvE efforts in this game. Stats-wise here,
Oh my.
he is 120,000 siege damage. Next highest is 65, I believe, on Jay Shrite on that Phoenix. Next highest beyond that, 30,000. So he is 4 times higher than the 3rd highest on his team. That is ridiculous.
Had a taunt there. I think might have missed the mark just a little bit. I heard the audible. Either way, Equinox, top bottom. Goku, I thought he would get the dismount there, but remember that
Vikings are hard, man.
that impersonation?
Yeah.
What do we call that? The reenactment?
Yeah, the reenactment.
That's pretty much it.
Yeah, it was a pretty good example of it, yeah.
Jen starting to eat some damage. Again, Pulse Bomb scaling, but
Oh!
Casanova making the big play. He's going to get the Warden's Cage down. Multiple tether. Salvo going out. That's going to be 1 kill onto Butts. Dansky trying to return some of that damage. And Justin, he's trying to survive, but it's not going to be for much longer. That is going to be 2 members down, making a 3rd as Team 12 starting to fall apart.
And it could not happen at worse timing here, Jay. How Cure and Goku, the only team members up to be able to try and stop a 3 altar phase. We'll see here. Vikings actually have a big advantage. Wow, Goku's actually making a huge play. The dismount with Olaf, while the double channel on the top half, Eric gets one, Baylog the other. Plays were made here today, saving 8 shots and sending them to the core of No Tomorrow.
Did he just put down an L5 spray? Was that not the team that they ran the Vikings into?
I believe so.
Oh, he knows.
Oh, he knows.
Kier knows he's probably not much longer.
Yeah, I was going to say, he's been feeling the pain there of Phoenix the entirety of this match.
Well, you know, that bought some crucial core. I mean, you could be looking at 4 core health, although it's about to speed things up. Justin's like, look, I can't get out of here. I better just eat you so I can get out of here. But see if we get the tether.
We do. Not even going to be committed there into the fray. Flip over. Got another kill here for No Tomorrow. 17-1. An absolute slaughterhouse in favor of No Tomorrow.
17 kills. That's. And we've still got a ways to go. Goku's going to contribute 1 minor portion of a kill there. Goku sitting on 3.25 kills. That's equivalent to 3.25 divided by 0.25 equals a lot.
Yeah, somewhere around pi.
Pulse Bomb goes out, instantly turn into 3 different pandas and run away. That's the problem. I mean, I just don't. If you're Tracer, you're like, man, this is not a fun game for me.
You know who you're also feeling that way is? If you're a Vikings.
Everybody? Oh.
Vikings, man. Not a fun game for you. When your 4-man's losing as a Vikings, you just go, wait, I have nothing I can really do to turn this game around.
There's potential for a 6 cap if Team 12 doesn't reclaim this spot. That top one's super low. Mid, vulnerable. Tassadar does do well sieging, though.
Nice, Indomitable, stopping the massive shove into the taunt with the tether, Justing.
He's like, somebody get near me so I can press E, please.
Yeah, somebody please give me some way out of this. Very good play there from No Tomorrow. And that's pretty much 5 free shots. 7 on the core now of Team 12.
I mean,
Gotta respect that micro.
we're gonna be looking at sappers that should be picked up by Phoenix on the bottom right. I'm curious, will they opt to maybe go for a boss, force a rotation out down there, go boss, then just get 1 altar?
One of the problems by losing Justing is he's their only front line. Think about it. Because you picked a Vikings Task Tracer Stukov. Every time Justing's dead, those sappers actually should be a pretty easy escort. They end up picking him up and go for the boss rotation instead. It's a bit safer, you know, catch Goku out in rotation in the same time.
I mean, they're not even hiding it. They're just like, look, what are you gonna do about it?
So now 3 shots sit on the core of Team 12. There is, as we've talked about, top bell tower could be converted here for No Tomorrow if they would like, knowing that bottom is going to be converted back here for Team 12. Those sappers are not going to be able to make their way in. So instead, looking to pressure on mid, it looks like, here for No Tomorrow.
One more altar phase. I mean, Team 12 might get to level 20. I don't even know if level 20 really does it for him. Hook's going to land just onto a minion.
Should be noted, we just got play again used.
I thought I saw them all appear on that.
Yeah. So it might be down for the next team fight, which, to be honest, when you don't look at Vikings as a team fight hero, but if they are a team fight hero, it is once you get the Olaf stun, later stages of the game, and then you get to play again, double stun, all in. We're not going to have that available. So even, you know, I don't think I need to paint this any more darker for the side of Team 12, but it definitely got just a skosh dimmer here.
Stitches was hovering as 20, ended up going the shield. There's going to be the double toss into the taunt. Now all of a sudden Casanova, he's like, all right, oh, hold on. He got eaten real quick. Dansky and team, you can see Equinox dive in the back line, but here's another tether.
Thompson tracking it down with that tranquility. Dansky falling low, another two-man toss. Groundbreaker lands on adjusting. Salvo goes down. Cure able to keep himself alive. Actually, we saw the Vikings get the channel in the middle of the skirmish, hook back onto Equinox. Flying kick to the minion wave. He keeps himself alive, but no lethal available here for No Tomorrow. Olaf's trying to get the stun.
He's trying to get it. Shrite under assault. Do we get a hook? Instead, we get a toss back. Justin, he's in deep. Casanova trying to pull the rest of Team 12 in. Play it again as Goku comes in. There's going to be a big root and silence. Casanova fighting for his life. Shrite!
He got hooked in. He went down. Vikings was the trade-off. I'm going to say that's worth.
Hashtag worth, because the Vikings say, let's play it again, Sam. As they come back, but now all of a sudden Vikings, they're going down again. There's going to be the shove. There's going to be the hook into Casanova, who's throwing down the tether. Now all of a sudden Jin might have just body blocked himself to death. In the backside, Dansky somehow surviving here against the Pandas. And now Equinox, he's under assault. Does he make it out of here alive? He does.
The silence is there now from Buds. Team 12 have a window of opportunity in this game, but they cannot let up whatsoever. 3 shots onto the core. Equinox ends up going down the hook onto Tomster, the Gorge. Man, this mouth, does he have the ice block?
I don't even know if it matters. There's the silence. Tomster, ice block. Well,
it's not about that. I was just wondering if he was willing to burn it and stagger the death even more, because I was like, this is one of those moments.
Die faster.
Die as fast as you can, because you are not going to survive.
Hold on right now. We're talking about 3 members dead, Phoenix coming back, single altar phase, 5 shots going over. We're going to be looking at 15 to 3 core health. And now the rest of the map might start to open up just a little bit. Threat of sappers in the bottom. I don't know what's happening anymore.
J-How, at this point, the only way Team 12 can turn this around is by converting these bell towers, you know? In the words of Little John, they need shots, 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 shots.
What?
Yeah, exactly.
That's
the only way they're going to be able to turn this around. That was that was impressive.
Yeah. All right, that is bell towers converted over. 15 core health, map control over. Tassidar's going to go through. The hook's just going to miss. And Team 12, the taunt just burned there by Jin. Cure starting to light things up.
I feel so bad for Jin. I have never seen a player who's been in a position who has gone for, you know, the heroics where it's been just slightly off that much that we've gotten on camera in so many type of situations.
He's got the fishing hook till we get it over the wall. Step a little closer. There it is. Gone fishing. Oh, wait a minute. The pulse bomb didn't go off.
The Gorge, Equinox, the tether back. He's able to keep himself alive. Goku, I mean, it's just an Olaf. He's going to be fine for now. Has play again if necessary.
Okay. I think he was trying to get that perfect Gorge right after the pulse bomb went off. Here come the sappers. Going to buy a little bit of time. There it is. Directly into the silence. Casanova uses the vault. He's alive for now. Into the fray. Going to toss him out. And he survives.
There goes the massive shove, pushing them back. Team 12 got the sappers, escorting them up to the wall of death. Now Jin is going to be the last man standing. Hook comes out, finds himself in Equinox. There is a silence. Nice root as well. Pulse bomb goes in. Equinox does not go down. He gets the Storm, Earth, and Fire in time. And No Tomorrow keep all their members alive. Now 29 seconds out from those altars. If one goes over, then No Tomorrow.
Well, hold on. No, the Vikings up top, they're going to convert it. That's only 2 shots now. The Vikings are somehow keeping this game in their favor. Goku, can he get it down? Goku, hashtag worth right now. Now, only 2 shots. They need both altars. Boss is spawned as well. No Tomorrow takes a team fight. They can get it. Vikings on the backside, which means the rest here. Jin We'll call that a sidestep, even though it's a standstill.
Cool, calm, and collected. Massive shove there. Used onto Jin once more. Casanova looking for the flank of the side. Gonna tether onto Cure. Cure burnt both blinks there. Not gonna force the recall yet. The shot's moving in onto the core now. 9 stand for no tomorrow.
If I'm Team 12, do I give it up? Oh, wait a minute. Hold on. There's going to be Garage going in. He's silenced. The pulse bomb
down.
Didn't go off. He tried to go. There's going to be another hook, and Shrite warps out. Warden's cage is down. Get in my belly. Justine comes in, but Jin with the 3-man taunt. Casanova getting the resets on the Fan of Knives. Vikings are the only ones that have
Casa
fallen
went
so
down,
far.
though.
But Casa fell. All of a sudden, Jin is down. It is back and forth, Dread.
On this Tassadar with the Infinite Archon has been left alone the entirety of that fight, just getting auto after auto.
Oh, we got the hook again.
He gets the hook
No!
back. They get the reel back in. The channel is going to be started here.
6
Team
cap
12,
boss, do whatever you want, Team 12. You've done it.
they hold on to this game. My goodness, the miracle as they get the conversion over on the bell tower. And again, the shots rain down. Team 12 will take a lead in this series, 2-1, but not after giving me a heart attack first, man.
This is just I'm not going to lie, man. There was a point where I'm like, look, I'm just waiting for the game to be over. It was ugly. And then Team 12, scaling of the pulse bomb came back. Everything came back in their favor. All it took was one fight, and then they kept rolling. And then that hook on the chin over the wall on the mid bell tower. I'm like, oh, they got him. He gets the pulse bomb. He's like, actually, I talked about 100 different ways that you could cancel pulse bomb, whether it was the pandas, whether it was the go under, whether it was ice block. But who knew that Justine would be one of those?
Look at that damage. Tracer, 135,000. You know, a lot of that was auto attack damage.
Ended up, by the way, Unstoppable, I think was about 5 or 6, maybe 7 stacks deep towards the end of that, because there was a